Why you hate endo? Because you're in a rush to get to the red zone. What do I mean? You're in a hurry to get to full working length. Isn't that our goal? We want to find all the canals and we want to get all the way to the very end and we want to fill it all the way to the very end. Isn't that what we've decided endo success is all about? I mean, we sort of forgot that it's about getting the patient out of pain, eliminating infection, preserving tooth structure so that they can keep a natural tooth for a while. We sort of forget all that in the midst of trying to get to the red zone, get to the apex. Now look at this anatomy. Look at these curvatures. This is just the distal canal. This is the mesial buccal canal. This happens to be E-human tooth atlas, upper second molar, but it's just any example. I could have pulled up any example. But look at this. Look at these curvatures. It goes this way and then it comes back this way. Palatal doesn't look too bad. Little apical split. But let me rotate this a little bit. So it's curving not only in the plane of your radiograph, it's also curving in the buccolingual plane. Look at this curvature. This file is going to start here. It's going to go this way. It's going to come back this way. It's going to get caught up in this MB2 isthmus mess. I mean, there's no telling what all is going on in here. Distal doesn't look too bad. Palatal doesn't look too bad. Curvature right at the apex. What do you think is going to happen if you drop a 10K file in here? It might make it around the curvature, a 10. How about a 15? It's about as stiff as this shaft on this 3-wood, so I don't know. A 20? Yeah, that's like a piece of metal rod, like a piece of rebar. That's not going to go around the curvature very easily at all. So let's back it up here. What I want you to do, take your time to develop your access. What do I mean by that? Don't just drop in, boom, cut an access. Follow the anatomy, do it visually, do your access visually. Get it all cleaned up. Do not be in a hurry to get into the canals. Once you begin to open the canals, you're going to use orifice openers by definition. Orifice opener, that's a manufacturer's word. So they can sell you something called an orifice opener. You can use the quote orifice openers if you want, but anything you open the orifice with is an orifice opener. A Gates Glidden is an orifice opener. Hand files can be orifice openers. And any shape of nickel titanium can be an orifice opener. I use most commonly the 2506 21 millimeter file. I also use 2004 21 millimeter files. I like 21 millimeter files. 99% of the work I do is 21 millimeter files. Even on a root length, a working length that's longer than that, I'm going to use my 21s first. That gives you an idea of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work my way down the canal and not only open the orifice, I want to open the midroot and then I want to open them apically. I think there's a lot of talk today, even on the dental boards, on the dental town boards, about people having trouble negotiating to the apex. And the manufacturers tell us you want a 20K file to working length before you go to rotaries. I want to tell you, ignore that, okay? Use your rotaries. Use your rotaries early and use them in this way. Look at this canal here. This is the palatal. Wait, let me check it. Let me rotate this so we can see the palatal. Now we can see the palatal pretty good. Here's the palatal. Am I worried about dropping a rotary file in here, at least to this point, before a hand file? No, I'm not at all. So that rule, you can see where that rule makes no sense. You need to be using your common sense about how you're going to negotiate these canals. So I like rotaries to work my way down, but this is how I'm going to do it. Let's say I take a 10 file and I drop it in here. First of all, let me switch to a tooth. Actual film here. Let's look at this case here. Okay, so in looking at this case, look at the chamber. The chamber is pretty shut down. It's going to take me a little while to develop my access here. I'm not going to be able to just drop a burr and go thud and I'm in the chamber. So I want to develop my access. I know I've got curvatures and acute angles coming out of the chamber. I'm going to need to create some freedom here before a file goes down, even a 10K file. I'm going to use a 2004 in these real tight canals just to get me maybe to here. Just a couple millimeters, maybe 13, 14 millimeters if you want to measure my file. Maybe 13 or 14, maybe not even that much, just to kind of open the top part of the canal, open the orifice if you want to use that language. Then I'm going to take a 10K file again and see where that goes. If in the palatal canal, my 10K file might drop down 18 millimeters, 20 millimeters. I'm going to estimate my working lengths here are going to be around 20. Palatal might be a little more, mesial buccal could be a little less, but let's estimate them around, let's say 18 to 20, 22, somewhere in that ballpark. So I'm going to take a 10K file and see where it goes passively. Once I've developed my access, created a little freedom here, I'm going to see where does that 10 file go without pushing. I don't want any ledging. I'm just going to let it fall in. If it gets anywhere near 18, I'm hooking up my apex locator. It's probably not going to ding, ding, ding and tell me I'm there. But you want to know if it does. You want to know if it's telling you, hey, 18 is too much. But let's say it goes to 15. Now, if you're worried about a really tight canal, take a small rotary file like a 2004 or one of these new Pathfinder rotary files or whatever you like, and go to that depth. As long as it goes passively, now you've got irrigant in there. Now you've got room for your K files to progress much easier. Go back, try the 10K file again, see where it goes. See if you can get the apex locator to give you full length. But going back to that anatomy on the tooth atlas, let's see if I can pull it back up without messing this up. Even in this palatal, I may only get passively to here. This last millimeter or two may be extremely difficult to get my apex locator to ring that I'm all the way down. Don't worry about it. Just open it to that point. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of time later to get all the way to length. Don't try to get it done at the beginning of the procedure, okay? Work your way down. To me, that's what, working coronally to apically, that crown down philosophy, to me, that's more what it's all about, okay? Opening the easy part, opening things up as you move apically. Don't worry about getting that apex locator to ring, not right now. You do need patency ultimately, I believe. I like to get it, and I'm able to achieve it, most of the time, 99% of the time. But if you try to, I'm not going to get it early on. I'm not going to get my apex locator to ring before I pick up rotary files. I think that's crazy. So let me go back to this case. Here we are. Let's see if I've got the next image. So here's my check film. Here's my check film. I've got little puffs of sealer. Looks like I'm to full length. And with the rubber dam off. With the rubber dam off, you can see my access is not excessive. It's not destructive. I've gotten to full length, and we did it in a progressive fashion. Let me see if I've got, yeah, and here you can see the MB2. So here's the MB2. It became confluent with the MB. And here's this nice curvature preserved in this other dimension. Trying to get a 20K file around this curvature is no easy task. So I think one of the biggest mistakes folks are making is trying to do so much so early with their hand files. Use your hand file to see how far you can go safely with your rotary, but don't get hung up on having to have your working length before you pick up your rotary files, okay? And I think we'll leave it there for now.